Amen. Well, I'll tell you, it's good to know that we have a Savior.
Amen.
And we had the radio on today, thought trying to get some news, and we got more news than we wanted. Yeah. I tell you, this thing's in a mess, people. And I don't know. There's a scripture there in the Bible, I forget where it's at, but it speaks about Sodom people and the way they do things. And they said, and they like this. The pastors and the prophets are in it for money. They're not warning the people about what's going to happen. And said, but they like it like that. And there is going, if the Lord don't come back here a little bit, there'll be a revolution in this country, and it's going to get rough. But God's going to take care of His people. Right. Amen. I was a while back. I was praying, and I said, Lord, what are we going to do? And people buying guns and ammunition and getting ready for a fight. And there, a man asked me, he said, "You're a preacher. Will there be a fight?" I said, "There will be." I said, "But you won't win it. There ain't no way you can win this thing. There's got to be one world government, one world leader, one world monetary system. Everything's got to collapse. They got to bring it all up, and we're going to see who really knows their God." And I was in the woods praying in my altar out there, and he reminded me. He said the Hebrew children. You said they're in captivity already in captivity, and it looks like that they were in that position that everything they had a house, they had food, they had everything, but then they put the squeeze on. You're going to have to worship this man. You're going to have to bow down to this golden idol. And the Bible said that we're not careful, O king, to answer you. We're not going to bow, but if our God don't deliver, we're still ain't going to bow. We just ain't going to do it. He reminded us. And I thought about that, but he said the thing that I want you to understand, they went to the furnace. But I was there before they got there. Woo! Come on now. Amen. He said, I'll always go with you. I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. And that's the thing that we need to remember. I'll tell you what, I was praying today, and we was trying to visit some folk and talk to them. And I met some people, their name was Hopgood. And they wanted to know if I was kin to them. I said, possibility. I said, I've been Hopgood and Hopgood and what I don't know. I don't know what all names we've had. I finally got Hopgood. Had to go to court to get that. But anyway, and I invited them. They asked me, said, "Are you the preacher?" I said, "Yeah, I am." Said, and they talk like they might come, so they may do it. But I don't know. You know how people are. I think about what the brother said. There's so much trouble today. There's so much sickness, cancer, disease, and this world's plagued. Anything the devil touches, he'll curse it. Amen. He's a curse, and before we got saved, we lived under the curse, and he almost destroyed some of us. We almost did make it out, but we made it, and it's been His grace. I want to read tonight in the book of St. Luke. I know there's not very many here. I prayed today. I thought about how that there not be too many here tonight, but I still wanted to preach this. I was reading it today in the book of Luke, the 16th chapter. And in the 20th verse, let's read 16 and 19. Luke 16 and verse 19. And this a lot of people debate these scriptures here. They say it's just a parable. They say it's not really real, anything like that. But I'm going to take it as it's real. He said, "There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day." I mean, he had it made every day.
And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at the gate full of sores, and desired to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. It came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And the Bible said this, and in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torment, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime received thy good things, likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And besides this, besides all this, between us and you there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldst send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify to them, lest they also come to this place of torment. Abraham said to him, to have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. And he said, Nay, Father, Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. And he said unto him, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. Lord, I thank you for this scripture. I thank you for those that are here tonight. Thank you for the Holy Ghost. I feel help us tonight to preach this word. And we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Praise God. In Arkansas, I have a radio broadcast. There's several preachers. I guess there's a Saturday Adventist church comes on, and all he does is, we got to go to church on Saturday. If you don't go to church on Saturday, you're lost. And you got to do this, and he goes on and on. And then another preacher comes on, and I come on, and I'm preaching against sin. I tell people, you need to repent, need to get right with God. After me, a man comes on, and he tells everything is all right. Our church is doing good. We're growing. We got money. And we're just doing great. And nobody has said anything about eternity. Come on now. We live in a world where people don't ever hear about this place called hell. Well, Brother Hopgood, we don't believe. One man told me I don't believe in hell. I said it doesn't matter if you believe in it or not. The scripture says it's real. The Bible tells us, he said, you believe in God. How many people that you meet that say, oh, I believe in God. I believe in God. But he said, you believe in God, believe also in me. You've got to have Jesus. Amen. Just believing in God is not going to be enough. The Muslims believe in God. Come on. The Hindu and all these other people, they believe in a God, but not the God we believe in. You've got to believe in God. He created the world, everything. God is supreme over everything, but His sent Son. That's our way of salvation. Amen. The Bible said that this man died. I think about it. People say, well, we just died. A man told me, he said, we just died. And we're just like a dog. They put us in the ground and we rot, and that's it. That is not it. I want you to know there is a place that's for the people that will not accept Jesus as their Savior. And I'm telling you, and the Bible tells us that hell has enlarged. It's getting bigger every day. It grows and grows. Why, Brother Hopgood? Because people reject the Son of God. You cannot go to heaven without Jesus, but you can go to hell without Him. You can be lost and split hell wide open. Oh, I don't believe in it. But when you wake up in that other place, you will believe. The Bible said that this man said that he was in torment. Torment. I thought about it. I was talking to a man one day, and you probably don't want to try this, but I talked to him about that. And he said, well, hell ain't bad. It ain't too hot. And I said, any heat that you can imagine, any heat in this life that you can imagine, it don't even come close to the tormenting heat that's going to be in hell. That's right. So he was smoking a cigarette, so I said, let me have a cigarette. And I said, put your arm out here. And he stuck his arm out, and the guy was sticking. He said, well, hold it, wait a minute, hold it now. He said, that's going to hurt. I said, I'm trying to tell you that if you don't get saved, you're going to be punished because you rejected the Son of the living God. And hell is not for us. He never intended, somebody said God never, God didn't make hell, but He did not. He made it for the devil, Brother Key, and his angels. That's why hell is there. And if you go, you're an intruder. You're going there, and you have no business. There's a better place, and it's called heaven. But this rich man, and you know the world is doing good. People's making it. I talk to people, and you know they're whining and dining and everything. They're going to the Alabama football game, and they're hoorahing it up. And some of them got drunk and got mad because they didn't win and all that. But they're Christians. They go to church. They say they're saved, but they're lost. I said they're lost. I want to title this message, One Man in Hell and 5 More Coming. What can we do to stop the influx or the population of hell? I'll tell you what we can do. We can get on fire for Jesus and start preaching and teaching and telling people, don't go to that place. Don't live like that. We're going to, Brother Key, I like that old song. We're going to have to come back and preach some holiness to the church and to the world. And when they come in, let's don't pick our sermons. Let's preach what the Lord has laid on our hearts. Amen. This man made a statement. He said, I am tormented. I'm hurting. I'm in pain. He said something else. There is no water in this place. There is no relief in this place. There's nothing but torment. I read a book one time, and it said that in hell, that there'd be all the women, all the booze, all the drugs, and all that stuff. Said, but you can't partake of any of it. You remember your life. I remember when I was up there. He said, I remember, and I've got 5 brothers. Oh, God. It's a fine time to be in hell. And remember, you got 5 brothers. And 7 of them still alive. And some of them are going to church trying to live right. But most of them are lost. And I'll talk to them, and they say, I'm all right now. I don't drink anymore, and I had to quit smoking because of my lungs. They didn't quit because they felt convicted. They didn't stop drinking because they got convicted. Some of them didn't have the money to buy it, but they're lost. They're undone without God. This man in hell, he had a burden. He got a burden for his brothers. It's a little late. Come on. I heard a man told me one time, and he said that we was at a funeral, and that man was laying in the casket. He said, I had a burden for that man. I was going to go down there. It's too late. You can't do anything for it after he's gone and laying in that grave. If you got a burden, and go do it. Don't wait till you're lost. Don't wait till you're in hell to have a burden for the lost. Amen. This man had a burden for his brothers. He did not want them to come to this place. I think about this preacher. I can't even remember his name, but I've heard him preach, and he gave his testimony. He was a drunk, alcoholic. And he was a son that was at home, and his mother was an old holiness woman. He'd go out at night to get drunk, and she'd beg him not to go, and she'd lay across the door, and he'd step over her and go out. Oh, she'd pray, she'd fasted. He'd come home drunk, staggered in. She'd carry him in there, put him to bed. He'd weep and cry and say, Mama, I'm sorry. I'm going to do better. But the devil, Brother Key, had a hold on him. He couldn't do any better. The chains got to be broke. You can't quit sin. You got to get saved. You won't quit anything until Jesus comes in and redeems you and sets you free. But this man went on for nights and nights. But one night he came in and he was so drunk, and his mother was in that room weeping and crying for him. And all of a sudden the Spirit of the Lord hit him and knocked him down in that floor. And Mama and him got the weeping and crying and praying. And he got saved. He was a candidate for hell. He was going to be lost. But she had a burden. I mean, they got a hold of her. She wasn't willing to give up and just let it die and go to hell. I mean, my daddy was a drunk. And I tell you, he beat us and abused us. But when I got saved, Brother King, I had a burden. And I put it on God. And God promised me, you live for me and preach my word. I'll save you, Daddy. 10 years later, my daddy got right with God. Went out of here and knew that you gotta have a burden. But don't wait till it's too late to get a burden for your lost loved ones. This man is in hell. This is the conversation that's going on. He's talking to Abraham. Abraham, if you could do me a favor, that I believe that if my brothers could see Lazarus walking back on that street again, I'm not sure they ever seen him start out with. The Bible said that he lay at the gate, that man's gate, and the Bible said that, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus was laid at his gate, full of sores. I don't believe he ever seen him. I don't believe he ever gave one thought. Maybe heard about it. Maybe somebody said, did you know there's a beggar outside at your gate? And somebody said, well, go give him a crumb. Go give him something. He didn't do anything to help him. He didn't lift one little hand. I think about it. Are we doing anything for God? Are we really trying to get somebody saved? Are we trying? Do we have a burden? I think today in the church, there's not a whole lot of people with a burden. Come on. I thought about it. I pastored and preached and traveled and evangelized for over 52 years. And I've come to churches and have a burden for that church. Have a load for that church. And pray and seek after God. And people come in and get saved. And I've come back a couple of years later. And everything that we done, they run them off. There was trouble in the church. They couldn't get along. When you get somebody saved and they don't know anything about church. Brother Key, when I got saved, you remember that? I didn't know anything about church. I tell you one that has got some peculiar ways, but he ain't up to me nothing. I mean, I'll take the service over. I mean, I talk in tongues, walk the pews. I mean, and they lay hands on me, try to cast the devil out of me. And I'm telling you that I got to, well, wait a minute, hold it here. I know I ain't got no devil. I know that. But, you know, they didn't run you off, but they almost did. Some of them wanted to. Got to be careful. We get them in, let's try to keep them, not run them off. But this man, there were 6 brothers, one of them dies. And in hell, he's there. He's got 5 brothers that are candidate to meet him where he's at. Don't he'll meet him. And they ain't going to be there either. Amen. And he's down there. And the 23rd verse, he said, and in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torment. I heard somebody say they knew they wasn't saved and they knew they was going to hell, but hell's not going to be that bad. Hell just ain't that bad. But I'm going to tell you something. Hell is a terrible place. It's a place, the Bible said, their torment ascended, smoke of the torment ascended up day and night. You could hear their cries. And I don't think they were having a camp meeting in hell. When I was lost and some of my buddies, we were talking and we get kegs of beer and stuff. And one fellow said, if one of us dies, I said, tell you what we do, we're going to put a keg in the casket. And when we all get there, we'll have a beer party. I'll tell you, there won't be any beer parties in that place. There won't be no party at all. There'll be anguish. There'll be pain. There'll be remembrance. Every time you went to church and you walked away from God, you remember that when you sat on the pew and you wouldn't listen to the preacher and your mind went everywhere. You remember that. The things that kept you out of heaven, it'll be there in your remembrance. This man asked for something. He said, he saw Lazarus fall off. He asked for mercy. He said, give me mercy. I'm going to tell you, mercy will be turned into judgment. There's coming a time when there will be no mercy, it'll all be judgment. Come on. And there are people out there that say, God will not do this and not go do that. I believe the day of the Gentile will come to an end, Brother Key, and I believe the judgment of God will fall upon the Gentiles. He'll deal with the Jews later, but the Gentiles are going to pay a price. Come on, we were adopted in. We were grafted into the vine. Come on, and we are a special people. To reject Him and to go away from Him is more tolerable for us. It'd been better we never been born. It'd better we never heard. It'd been better that we never ever got in this life to have denied Him. Stand before God. But he said, show me some mercy. And send Lazarus. Now we're talking to a man that's full of souls. He wouldn't have anything to do with it out there, but now he wants to take his finger and dip it in water and touch his tongue. A sore infested. Come on now. He's forgot the sores. He's forgot everything. Now all he thinks about, I need some water. He doesn't want a jug of water, a glass of water. He just wanted to dip his finger in there and just touch a drop of water on his tongue. And he said, for I am tormented in this flame. I've got my own personal little place. Come on. He said, where there's weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth, where there's outer darkness, there's no light, there's no peace, there's nothing but torment, day and night of torment. And you go on and on until the time comes of the resurrection, and they come up out of the grave, and the resurrection of the righteous. And there'll come a time when God will take death and hell and the grave and cast it into that sea. Somebody said, blessed are they that part in the first resurrection, for on them the second death has no power, that lake of fire. The beast, the Antichrist, the false prophet, old Lucifer himself. That's where they're all going. I want some water. Abraham said it can't be done. There ain't no way. He said, you don't see. Now you reap what you sow. That's what he's saying. You reap what you sow. You know, I used to tell my mama, why are you always picking on me? She said, well, you sowed it and you reap it. You boys getting in trouble again. So what you sow is what you reap. I'll be nice to these guys. They're my buddies. But the thing that it is that we understand, there is a place that if we miss heaven, there Suppose you go out and you sow your wild oats and you don't make it back in. There's a lot of people go out and come back. But there's numbers and numbers of people went out, Brother Daniel, and they never come back. The prodigal son is a great example, but not everybody's going to get back in. The devil is stronger than what you think. The Bible said he'll deceive you. He'll cause you to believe a lie and be damned. But he said it won't happen. There'll be no water, there'll be no help, because he can't cross and you can't cross. There's no way. There's no way out of this place. Have you ever got any place to get out of? I was a little old boy, and I had a dog get on the house, and my brothers and them said, "You're the little fella, go in there and get him." I was real little, and I crawled in there and got him, and put him out that little, they got them little, about the size of a brick, concrete block, And I've always been the type of fella that I'm kind of, what's claustrophobic. I don't like to be under stuff, but me and that dog talked to each other, and we was all right, I put him out, and I started crawling out that hole, and I got home. I was half in and half out. That sounds like a lot of people don't. And when you get excited, you get scared, your body expands. My lungs expands. Oh, my feet was out, my head was under the house. I'll tell you what, I was shook up. I mean, I was hollering and screaming, and they was pulling. I thought they were going to kill me. But I'll tell you what, they finally said, "Calm down, just calm down, calm down." And I did. I managed to calm down enough that my chest went down and I slipped out of it. Well, I'll tell you, it's a long time, but that little dog went up in the house, he could stay in that house. I'll tell you about that. But I was fearful. I was afraid. The beginning of wisdom is fear. To fear God and to walk upright before Him and keep His commandments. To understand that He's not a taskmaster. He's not making you live. But when a man is born again, when a man is converted, when he becomes a new creature in Christ, then he's heirs and joint heirs with Jesus Christ. But until that happens, you are of your father, the devil. You're a child of Satan. And you're going to end up with him in a place that's too hot to handle. Somebody said, "I just can't live for God. I just can't do it. I've tried." I said, "I'll tell you what, if you think about the alternative, if you think about where you're going because you won't live for God, maybe it'll give you a backbone. Maybe it'll stir you. Come on. People, listen to me. It's time the world realize it. There is a place of torment. There's a place, and you won't burn up. You won't just fizz out. You'll live. You'll have your five senses. You'll feel. This man was thirsty. This man felt pain. This man realized there was flames where he was at. This man realized he needed help, but it was too late to get it. Do we understand the need that we have for God and His Son? The Bible tells us, He said to tell you what you do. If you'll take Lazarus and send him back, raise him from the dead and send him back. He said, then my brothers will believe. What's it take for people to believe? To me, before I got saved, the hardest thing for me to believe was the virgin birth of Jesus Christ. I just couldn't hardly accept it. I just thought, it's not a fairy tale to me. I had to have a personal visitation. The Lord visited me, showed Himself real. And I'm like old Thomas. I kind of feel bad, but I believe because I've seen it. But you've got to believe what this book says. You've got to accept it. The born of a virgin, the Son of God. Now, we got a lot of trouble going on today. I've got trouble. And my brother that's gone on to be the Lord got in trouble, but the Keys got in trouble because that I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of the living God. I do not believe He is God. I believe He is the Son of the living God. And I'll tell you, the three holiness people, they'll step on you, step on your heart. Because the Catholic Church, I was in in the Catholic Church. Mary is the mother of God. They teach that. Listen to me. Mary is the mother of the Son of God, of Jesus Christ. And we must, the Bible said, he said, this is the victory overcometh the world, even our faith. Who is he that overcometh but he that believeth that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God? That's what the Bible says. I've got to believe what this book says. If I can't accept him as the Son, then I can't be saved. Amen. Oh, yeah, won't get tough. But he said, send Lazarus back, said, my 5 brothers are dead. Now this thing's stirred up. He don't want his brothers to come to this place. And the Bible says, he said, listen, he tells him this. He said, for I have 5 brethren, that he may testify to them, lest they also come to this place of torment. Abraham said unto him, they have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. They said, God said, they don't do that. They don't none of that stuff. We got to have a miracle. The Bible said that, they're looking for miracles. They're going to have signs. But we got to simply believe what this book said. He came, he bled, he died, he rose the 3rd day, seated by the hand of the Father, making intercession. He's coming back again. He's coming after the church without spot or blemish or wrinkle. And it's possible that you can live that way because he lives in you. He said, nay, Father Abraham, but if one went to them from the dead, they will repent. Isn't that something that this man said there? And he said unto him, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. Woo! Hallelujah. There's one on, he's trying to tell him there's one already there. In the book of Luke, he's already there. He's healing, he's saving, he's casting out devils, he's opening blinded eyes. Can you believe on him? He's alive, and he will die for the sins of the world. But you must believe on this thing. I read they had an article in the paper several years ago that they found the bones of Jesus. I don't know who bones it was, but they might have been Rasmus's bones, but they sure wasn't Jesus' bones. Because he didn't die. He died on the cross, but he rose 3 days later. He's up and gone. His bones and his body and everything goes out there. Come on, man. He's alive. But these men, if they could, he was saying, if you can't believe on Jesus, then you're not going to believe anything else. Did you know when Jesus come out of the grave, they said they stole his body? Said he didn't really do what he said. His disciples stole his body. And that tale is common over in Israel today. It's still there. They're still telling it. But I'm telling this. He was resurrected. God raised him from the dead. See, he is seated at the right hand of the Father, making intercession. He is our advocate. He is our high priest. If we sin, we have an advocate with him. He'll forgive us. If you fall down, he'll pick you up, dust you off, put you back on the road, and let you go again. But his whole purpose, that man might be saved. Amen. He doesn't want it. The Bible said it's not God's will. God's will that any man should be lost. He don't want you to go to hell. That's right. But they couldn't believe. They couldn't be persuaded. I remember 1975 was. I pastored a church called London Assembly of God Church in London, Arkansas, and we was there, and it was on a Saturday night. I believe it was. The secretary of the church, I was a new pastor. She kind of been running things there. And she brought a groupie to sing, and they were a scoot boot kind. They were the scoot boot is like down the VFW. They drink beer and dance to somebody else's wife and stuff like that. They wasn't a church group. And they had them. And church was filling up. She came to me and I said, sis, what have you done? I said, these people they're not Christians. Well, they're good people. I said, well, good people, that's fine. I said, but the house was full. I said, all right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. They sang 3 songs.
got to be religious songs. 3 of them. And I said, I'm going to preach after that. I'm going to preach. Well, they didn't like it, but I said, another thing I require, 3 songs, and you stay here till this thing's over. You don't believe it. So they sang 3 songs. They were pretty good. And I got up and opened my book and I preached on hell. I preached for about 45 minutes on hell. I made an altar call. That altar, you couldn't hold it in the altar. They were full. Filled up. Woo! Amen. God took something bad, turned it around. They got saved. The band, I went to bed, went home, had a great service, got a phone call 2 o'clock in the morning. One of the band singers, his wife said, you know what, my daughter has been up all night crying. And she said, I don't want to go to that place that preacher talked about. I don't want to go to hell. And she said, I've never heard any preaching like that. I've never heard anybody tell about hell like that. Listen to me. I can't tell you how bad that place is. I cannot in my imagination tell you the torment that's going to go on in that place. But I can tell you it's a place to miss. I can tell you it's a place you don't want to go there. Young people, older people, middle-aged, you do not want to die and go to a devil's hell. Amen. That band, Brother Steve broke that band up. Made a gospel band out of that band. I'm telling you, they all got saved. Amen. One person called me and said, you ought to be ashamed. You scared people half to death. I said, I didn't scare anybody. Fear of God hit them. It's not fear, but it's God's fear. I visited the hospital. Walking down the aisle and went in the room, visited somebody, and I heard screaming and hollering. I've told this before. And there was a man in this room that I had dealt with years ago when he didn't have time for church. He said, come when he got ready. He didn't nobody bother him. I go when I want to go. They had him in that room when he was dying. They had him strapped with straps. He's a big man, great big muscular man. He'd break those straps. They're sticking him with morphine, trying to knock him out, and they didn't do anything. And that man was screaming to the top of his lungs. And he said, my feet are burning. I'm on fire. Pull me out. They said, come on, preacher, get in, help us out. I helped hold that man down. He stunk so bad, stuff come out of his body. It stank. You almost want to get sick. He stank so bad. But he would cry out. And he said, my feet and my legs are on fire. He said, I'm sliding off of this bed into a place of flames. And the nurse slapped him on the face, said, no, you're hallucinating. And he said, no, I'm dying and going to hell. I'm going to hell. And they didn't do anything. There was a Catholic hospital. And I held that man. Steve, I held him until the last minute. And he cried out. He said, I'm in hell. I'm tormenting these flames. I'm burning. I mean, that man said that. And he died. And went out of here. He went to hell. There's no doubt about it. He was lost. And he went to a devil's hell. But it wouldn't have to be that if he just repented. It don't pay. Put God off. Well, this is what I feel like preaching. But I'm going to tell you something we know about this place. So what I suggest, the devil, I see this, that there are more preachers quitting now. Backsliding. Just getting they're discouraged. They're walking away. They said, well, I just won't preach. The gifts and the callings of God, you said the other night, without repentance, you can't walk away from God. He's going to hold you accountable. But the discouraged, we've got to come back and preach this thing as I told them to preach. We've got to warn people. We've got to tell them what's going to happen. But we've got to tell them that he'll be there. He'll help you. You don't have to be lost. You don't have to be tormented by demons of hell. You don't have to have the devil drag you out to the gutters of sin. You don't have to be tormented by him. You can be free if you only confess your sin and believe on the Lord Jesus with all your heart.
I've dealt with men that were devil possessed. And we had this one man devil possessed, and he was just sitting. The power of God just laid him out on the floor. We began to pray with him. And when we first started praying, he would not say Jesus. He would say bad words and stuff, and he won't say Jesus. And we laid hands on him and asked the Lord, move the powers of Satan away from him. So he can repent. Give him a chance to repent. And God done that. That man wept and cried and got saved. Got up from there, a new man in Christ. He said, I don't know what I did, I don't know what I said, but I'm sorry, I'm a new man now. He can give you life. You don't listen. The only reason why people have the devil moves and works in their life, the reason why young people, older people like they are, because they like what they got, and they let the devil live. They just let him live there. They invite him in, Sister Dale, and they make a house for him and let him live there. There's a little boy in our church, and he was mean. These boys are good compared to that boy. He was a mean junkyard dog. He pick on everybody, and he probably church folk, and he'd just do anything. And they whipped the fire out of him. And the lady said, and they took him to school, and they gave him drugs to calm him down. It didn't do no good. It made him worse. They come to me one day and asked me what to do. And I said, first thing I do, I cut me a good sized stick. And I said, that's the first thing I do, let him know that I'm going to take care of it. I said, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get him in this altar, and we're going to straighten him out. And we prayed, and the power of God moved, and that little boy, he still has some problems. That stick. And I wrote a note to the principal, said, no more drugs. You don't give that boy drugs no more. He don't need drugs. The drugs were affecting his mind and making him think and do things that ordinarily he would never done. You know that young man growed up. I saw him not long ago, and he told me, he said, hadn't been for you, Hopgood, I wouldn't be here today. I know that. But let me tell you, God wants to help his people. Come on, young people, you boys, and you young folk, you don't have to be bound by Satan. You don't have to have a problem with anger and want to spit and sputter and get mad at mama. If you really pray to it, if you really get it off there and say, God, I'm calling on your son Jesus. I want forgiveness. I want you to clean me up. I'm tired of this stuff. I want to be a different person. He'll do it. I know I used to. I'd fight the club, knife, and a gun. I tell you, I like to kill people and everything else. I was terrible. But I knelt that night and I said, Jesus, they told me you changed me. They said you changed me. And I won't change. I want you to change me. In 3 minutes, I got up from there and the load was lifted. I looked at people and I've never seen such beautiful people in my whole life. I said, whoo, I've never seen y'all look so good to me. That's the scales off my eyes. I can see now. I know a man, and his name is Jesus. They started hugging me, and I started hugging them. I went outside and looked at the sky, and I said, oh, what a beautiful sky. What a beautiful sky. You know what? I met a man, and his name is Jesus. Praise God. I don't have to be, listen, the devil, he can't do any more to me than what God allowed him to do. I don't have to be tormented. I don't have to, go sleep at night and wonder this, wonder that. I'm saved, sanctified, filled with that good Holy Ghost. Everything's going to be all right. I'll tell you what I want to do. I know it's not very many of us, but I want us to come around these altars. I want us to pray. I believe we're saved. I believe there's saved people here. Might be some of you need to pray a little bit more. But I'll tell you, we need to remember that we have a place to go. And that we need to, the Bible says, let a man examine himself, see whether he is faith or not. I want to know I'm right. I lay down at night and I said, Lord, if I have sinned, if I've said or done anything, don't you forgive me. I can leave, let's see if I can leave out of here tonight. Oh, take a quick beating and I'll be out of here. But I don't want nothing to count. I don't want anything. Everything under the blood, I want it under the blood. Let's come, let's pray. Lord, I want everything under the blood.